Hey, 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 slopes from a graph today. I can determine the correct slope given a graph. All right. So we're going to have a video posted on this second slide right here, but right here is going to be a picture of the video instead of the UFC image. So that's where that will be when you watch this video. So today we're going to learn about slope from a graph. And to do so, you're going to need to know what the y-axis and the x-axis, the differences between them. And so we're going to grab our red one here, and we're going to move it all the way over to the up and down. Because as you can see, the up and down is the y-axis. All right. And up. And then the left and right is the horizontal or x-axis. That's going to be very important when we're calculating slope from a graph. Because as we've been talking about, slope is simply steepness. And so slope can be positive or negative. And we also talked about how slope can be, or define slope, you do the change in y over the change in x. So in math form, that looks like this. Slope is the change in y over the change in x. Or written out in words, change in y over change in x. So we go back to slide 3 here. We're going to be doing the change in y, which means we go up and down first, and then we go change in x, which is left and right. All of the problems we're doing today is the same formula, just a different view of it. Instead of a table, it's a graph. So we have change in y over the change in x. So example 1, we're going to need to do, first thing we need to do to find slope from a graph is to find two friendly points, points A and B. Now, a friendly point is a point in the corner, perfectly in the corner. So here's A and here's B. And then in orange, it says count the change in y between the 2 points, which is exactly what we're going to do. 1, 2. And then in blue, it says count the change in x between the 2 points. So x changed 1 time. So the y-axis, which is up and down, it went up 1, 2 times. The x-axis, which is left and right, went over 1 time. And the last thing is divide our change in y over the change in x. So if our change in y was 2, indicated by the orange, and our change in x was 1, indicated by the blue, 2 divided by 1 is 2. So our slope is 2. And you'll notice it's a positive 2. So we have a positive slope. Okay, that is it. That is how you find slope from a graph. Now check this out. Let's get some more practice on slide 7. Okay, here's another example. Here we need 2 friendly points. And so we're going to need to do the change in y. But you'll notice I'm not going up in this one. Because remember, change in y can go up or down. So instead of going up, I'm going to go down 1. So my change in y is -1, and my change in x is 1, 2, 3. So I go, my change in y is down 1, my change in x is 3. -1 divided by 3 is -1/3. So our slope is -1/3. And notice that the graph is going down because it is negative. Okay. So slide 8 is where you start taking over. So you're going to need to move our triangle. You might have to rotate it, do what you need to do, but points A and B are given to you. So you're going to need to place our triangle. Okay, so let me do that myself. Boom. You're going to need to place our triangle on the graph, as you see that I'm doing. And once you do, we need to find how much of the y changed. So let's count. So as these are provided for you, and I'm going to flip it over, make it a little bit bigger. So my first change in y is 1. My second change in y, or not my second, I need to keep going up, 2. We have 3. And then we have 4. So our change in y here is 4. And our change in x is 1. All right. Now you'll notice I did that reverse. I could have make my life a lot easier had I just kept the triangle vertical. Then I could have not had to rotate everything. But I wanted to show you that it's going to work either way. As long as you stick with the change in y first, all of these orange ones would go on this other side. okay? And it'd still be 4 up and 1 across. So my y changed by 4, my x changed by 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4. That is my slope, okay? And then, of course, I need to move my blue one down. All right. There you go, 4/1. See you in class, ladies and gents.